Hey everyone, I'm Brent with VenomPads.com doing another Diamond Core Bits for Dummies tutorial on why do some choose the wrong core bit. Well, in the first two videos, I showed you the difference between sintered core bits and vacuum brazed. So we'll go over some sintered bits first. In my hand, I have 3 sintered bits. This is typical called a turbo style sintered bit. This is more called a continuous rim or crown rim sintered style. And these are called non-coring bits, more for drilling, like for anchors, for anchoring sinks. Now, with these ones, they work wet or dry and they have vacuum brazed side protection. And they work on everything from marble, quartzite, Dectin, you name it. And they're a wet core bit. Then we have this type of core bit, crown rim. So the big difference between the crown rim and this is that this is typically used wet only, and it's more for porcelain, tile, Dectin. And how it's designed is it has smaller diamonds, so it has like a little smoother cut, because when you're cutting porcelain and diamond, they tend not to want to use bigger diamonds like a quartzite. This is for quartzite and natural stone, hard granite. So it has bigger diamonds in the segments, and it has spacing for cooling. And this could be used wet or dry. This is wet only. But a lot of times, even though if something could be used dry, technically, it's always going to perform better with water. So you have these 3 here, and these have been around for ages, and it seems to be what most fabricators and shops are using. And they work great. The difference is they last a lot longer than the vacuum brazed, but they are more money, but they last a lot longer. It's not that they perform better. It just means you can get a lot of holes drilled out of those. But lately, the big craze is what I call crossover tools. Those vacuum brazed core bits are getting so popular. So once again, in the other videos I showed it. So here's a couple examples. And what makes these things really awesome, so these are 3 forms. This is your typical vacuum brazed. This is, I call it red Erics on an angle. And here's another type of Erics, but they're all vacuum brazed. The thing with these core bits are, they are so much more cheap. They're way more cheaper than the ones that last a lot longer. And they work really fast. So what happened was, with all the material that's considered like 10 millimeter or less, which is all large format slabs like porcelain, Dectin, also the tile. And what happened is you don't really need to know what kind of material, whether it's marble. And that's the thing with tile. When tile's set, you can't, even the best can't tell from the outside. Is it ceramic? Is it porcelain? Is it, engineered stone? So these now, like if you're someone just starting out, start with these. I think, it's like the easiest way to learn drilling holes. Plus, they're so much cheaper, where if you have like a big core bit, this in sintered would be way more money. So what's happening right now, a lot of shops are using, the ones that use a lot of holes and they know how to use core bits, they've been sticking kind of with the regular traditional style sintered, but they've been building up their arsenal of all the other different shapes of different hole sizes with these, because you can get not as many holes as the other one, but if you're in your house and you only need to get a few holes and you have the right size core bit for 20 bucks instead of the right size core bit for 100 in your toolbox, you can get a lot more of these. So once again, I'm finding that these type of vacuum brazed core bits are the way to go lately, and they just seem to get more and more popular. And the reason is this: I think they're just way more user friendly. They work on everything. Plus they work dry or wet, and when they're dry, they cut quick. Like I said, the only downside is you won't get as many holes as with these, but for the money, I think they're very well worth it.